It's very clear our love is here to stay. Not for a year, but forever and a day. You know, the radio and the telephone and the movies that we know, they may just be passing fancies, and in time may go. But oh, my dear, I'm telling you that love is here to stay. I know together we're going a long, long way. In time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble. Hey, they're only made of clay. But our love is here to stay, forever and a day. Our love is here to stay. Thank you. Thanks. Well, I thought we'd do a little simple gratitude chat. It's always good to begin the day with gratitude, right? So this is a little chant. It's very simple. It has two parts, so it can be done as a round. If you feel like, you can just keep doing the one part over and over, or you can switch to the second part, or you can go back and forth. The words really are just thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for the good you bring my way. So if you want to, you can stand up. And, you can look at your neighbor if you feel like it after you get going for a while. So here's the first part. You can just repeat it after me. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day. For all the good you bring my way. For all the good you bring my way. Thank you for this day. For all the good you bring my way. And that goes all together, like just do it all in a row, like thank you for this day, for all the good you bring my way. Thank you for this day, for all the good you bring my way. Thank you. Now you keep doing that. For all the good you bring my way. And I'll show you the other part. Thank you for this day, for all the good you bring my way. Thank you. 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 Thank you for this day, for all the good you bring my way. Thank you for this day, for all the good you bring my way. Thank you. We didn't quite get into the round, but that takes some time.
All right. Can we give a big thank you to Kathy? I do enjoy when you're our musical guest. She brings just a bit of class and just such smooth soulfulness. So I really appreciate it. Okay, here we go. I'm live. I'm ready now, everybody. All right, well, I'm Stephanie. I'm your Sunday service leader today. And it's with great love that I announce, as Rupali informed me, this is what would be called my swan song. This will be my last time being your SSL this year, so I have enjoyed it immensely. So I'll save the tears for later. Anyhow, do we have any new members with us today? Any newcomers? Please raise your hand. Don't be shy. We don't bite. I promise. No? Okay. At least not hard. We're all family here, it looks like. So let's take this moment. We will silence our cell phones. We don't want to be pulled away from this powerful moment. Any text, message, email, or otherwise can simply wait. It's not too urgent. Come on in. Look at this lovely being in this white dress. I love it. Had to call it out when I see beauty. Got to call it out. All right. Well, now that we're all settled, we have been doing, as you know, every few weeks we learn a new chakra. And last one was the heart, and now we have made it to the throat chakra. The color is blue. It's all about purity of expression, not just speaking the truth, but specifically speaking your truth. And I think we can all agree that there's a significant difference between the two. And so our anchoring thought for the next few weeks as we explore the throat chakra: life and death are in the power of the tongue. Right? Just simmer on that. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. And now we will transition over to our vision, mission, and core values. We'll have them up on the board, but I will, not board, you guys. I'm such a child of the 90s. I'm like not even ready to accept technology. I'm like, yeah, the whiteboard, chalkboard right here. Yes, so we're gonna go over those. So the vision, and we can say it all together since we see it. Centered in divine love and wisdom, we joyfully create a world united in positive spirituality. Mission: through prayer, meditation, spiritual education, and service, we put God's love into action. And last but not least, the best part, the core values. I am spirit-led. I am love. I am generosity. I am gratitude. I am inclusivity. Great job. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Hey y'all, what's going on? What's up, what's up?
You.
Good morning, y'all. So as y'all know, this is our evocation. I invite all of us, before we do this, to take a cleansing breath. We take that cleansing breath as a reminder that that ability, that flow happens without our conscious thought. And in the same way, that love that permeates all that is just there. And so we hit the gong for the first time, acknowledging that there is only love, which goes by many names. And so I invite you to take a cleansing breath. We hit the gong a second time, affirming that if there is only love, then who are we? We are the articulation, the beingness, the arms and legs of that love. And so we hit the gong for that reminder. We hit the gong a third and final time, affirming that if there is only love and we are the activity of that love, then what do we do about parking tickets and those annoyances that come in all the different packages that they arrive? So we hit the gong a third and final time as a reminder to bring all of who we are, the truth of who we are, into all we experience. And so it is. All right, y'all. So today we are honoring the throat chakra. Can we say throat? I want you to do me a favor. I want you to just rub your hands together. And I want you to just simply gently place your hands around your throat. And we're going to breathe. Simply breathe. Now I want you to do me a favor. I want you to send that breath all the way to your bottom of your belly. So that breath is going to expand all the way down to your belly. And from this place of stillness, I want you to say, I am love. Now gently put your hands to your side, and we're going to hold on to that frequency, that place of stillness. And in that breath that just is, say it again, I am love. I am love. So we understand that there are many things happening on our planet right now. And today, we are activating our time around the throat chakra, which is our energy center, the reminder to speak our truth as we know it, as we see it, as we feel it. And so we can speak that truth as long as we send our breath all the way down. And it's in there that whatever emerges is fact. So here at Unity, we love to love on each other. So I want to ask, do we have anybody in our community that celebrated a birthday last week? Any birthdays? What? No way. Bill.
I'm younger than what's the name? Anyway, I'm young.
I'm like, Bill, you standing right here, brother. 26. Happy birthday, Bill. Do we have any anniversaries? Any like, Rolly had a birthday. Is that right, Gio? Did Rolly have a birthday? Rolly. No, that's April. All right, that's April. All right. Do we have anybody in our community that celebrated some kind of anniversary or a milestone or? Okay. And last but not least, we affirm that our bodies, this beautiful body that we have, sometimes it wants to act up, right? We might have an ache that we didn't even know could exist. And so if this was a week where you had, a little extra love needed for that body, just gonna wave your hand. Okay, we see you. And then lastly, we have many in our community who are moving through a grieving journey. And as we know, there is no finish line. There is no finish line. And so we just want to love on all of our family who's moving through whatever phase of the healing process you're on. So during our evocation, we say, the first thing that we say and we affirm is that there is only love. That's a big affirmation. Because we know our planet and all the activity that happens, there is a lot of appearances that don't look like love. But the first thing we do in our community is we affirm that there is only love. And so if there is only love, who are we? We're the manifestation. We're the avatars. We're the beautiful beings of light. Whatever you want to call it, we're it. And so if we affirm that to be true, I want you to rub your hands together. And that means we have the power to send love to those around us and celebrate those around us and see them for the goddesses and the gods that they are. So stretch your hands out to those around you and repeat after me. We see you. And we know you for who you truly are. God in expression. We love you. We celebrate you. And we wrap our arms around you on your sacred walk. And so it is. So y'all, keep your hands up. Just go ahead and just wave at somebody around you. What's up? What's up? I see that new shirt. I see you in the blue. Throat chakra. Yes. All right. So that is our oneness moment. So when we light this candle, we affirm the unity that we are. So we light this candle as a reminder that we are all one. And so when any of us are celebrating, we're all celebrating. And we light our blue candle for the very first time, honoring for the next 7 weeks, we're going to be talking about the throat chakra. Can we say throat? There it is.
This is a really easy one. It's in your book, but you won't need your book. It just has 3 little verses. The first one is, I got peace like a river. The second verse is, I got joy like a fountain. And the third one is, I got love like a mountain. So stand up and we'll sing it ourselves, and then we'll sing it to our neighbors. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. Now turn to your neighbor and say, you've got it. You've got peace like a river, you've got peace like a river, you've got peace like a river in your soul. You've got peace like a river, you've got peace like a river, you've got peace like a river. Joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, got joy like a fountain in my soul. Now you've got it. You've got joy like a fountain, you've got joy like a fountain in your soul. You've got joy like a fountain, you've got joy like a fountain in your soul. Love like a mountain, I've got love like a mountain, got love like a mountain, got love like a mountain in my soul. I got love like a mountain, I got love like a mountain, got love like a mountain in my soul. And you've got it too. You've got love like a mountain, got love like a mountain in your soul. You've got love like a mountain, you've got love like a mountain, love like a mountain in your soul.
Ooh, y'all, I'm going to be honest. As comfortable as I can be up here on stage in front of y'all, nothing makes me, challenges me more than when we do these, singing together, and they're like, turn to your neighbor, and I'm like, God, no, I can't. I don't know what it is. I love telling you all, yes, your love like a fountain, joy like a fountain. Moment there are piano chords to it.
I have
I'm
a problem with that too, but I'm up here, so I didn't have
right?
to worry about it.
Yes, absolutely. All right, there we go. Throat chakra. I'm gonna lead by example. That is my truth. Thank you for receiving it. And on to our community announcements. The first one is gonna be, and if you're hungry, you'll be so happy to hear it. Today's our potluck. Yeah, woo, yes. Where's the joy? Where's the excitement? There will be food out there today after service at 12:30. So, yeah, hang out, stay with us, enjoy some nibbles. I'm sure it'll be delicious. We do this every month, right? So every 4th Sunday of the month, we do that. Whoa, we're already on the 4th Sunday of July. Okay, all right, accepting that. Next, save our deck. It feels like a game show, and it kind of is. We got the thermometer and everything. Please, whatever you have, even if it's a little bit, please donate it to our fund. We would like to replace the rotten boards outside so we can comfortably enjoy our potlucks safely without worrying about any sprained or strained ankles. Rupali is holding up an envelope. I think there are envelopes behind your chairs, so feel free to slip however much you want in there, $100 bills in copious amounts, into those envelopes. And when we do our collection at the end of service, just slip it in there. And what's next? I think it's going to be something about the Creators Circle. Let's see if I did my homework and studied the slides that Sally sent me. Oh, nope, new members class. Haha, gotcha. So we're doing a new members class. I think Carla's turning around. Yep, okay, we're good. All right, got the thumbs up from Carla. She's the boss, y'all. I don't want to say anything she would contradict. So new members class, Saturday, August 16th, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's in person. And if I remembered correctly from last week, it's just the one class. So that's it. So if you are new to Unity and you enjoy being here with us and you feel moved to become a member, then August 16th, that Saturday will be your day to come show up, and you can learn about Unity and its origins and what it stands for and all of that fun stuff. I took that class before with Carla. I absolutely enjoyed it, so you'll be in for a treat. Now we have our Project YOU, our Creator Circle. Marcy is also, Reverend Marcy, right? Forgive me. Let me put some respect on that name, okay? I'm going to pass the mic to her because no one explains it better than she does.
Thank you so much. And so this is an incredible program that we're running from August 4th to the 8th. It's for kids from 6 to 11 years old. And it is focusing on the energy behind creative and performing arts. So we're going to do all kinds of things like storytelling and improv and theater and music composition. We're doing so many things, and it's such an incredible class. We want to make certain that we are full to the brim because we know how much fun it is when we have lots of other people to play with. And so there are flyers outside with a coupon code, and it's $50 off for each child who registers. So please pick up some flyers, pass them out to your friends, your family, your neighbors, anyone who has kids in this age group. Trust me when I tell you, not only will it be life-changing for them, but it will for you too, because they'll leave that program knowing so much more about themselves and their superpowers. So that's one thing. And then I want to thank Kathy for that incredible group song that is prepping us for Friday night, which is our open mic and karaoke night. So we hope to see you all, and yeah, it'd be great to have some groups up there with some song and dance. And yeah, just come and have fun. And by the way, it's not just singing. You can bring your poetry, you can bring your stories, you can bring your musical instruments, whatever moves you. We would love to have you participate, and please come and support us. This program, of course, is in support of our new Project U, and we just want to get everything up and running so that we can all just have the best time ever. And we have that when we're together, so please come.
Yes, I love that. My niece will be flying in earlier on Friday, so I will definitely be dragging her here because that's what fun aunties are for. So she doesn't know. I'm totally going to leave it a surprise for her. And while you won't so much catch me with the singing, if anyone needs a backup dancer, like, I got you, okay? Like, I know how to get the crowd just moving with you, right? I will dance happily. Singing, not so much. All right, so now we're moving on to the closing part that I bring, a little spiritual thought, before Rev takes the stage and wows our minds. And I always like to do something a little bit off the beaten path, from left field. And so it took me a while to figure out, what am I going to bring for today about the throat chakra? And then I remembered this song that from the moment I heard it was living in my head rent-free, okay? And I don't often play songs over and over, but this one I did. And what I love about this artist, her name is Tierra Whack. She is a rap and hip-hop artist, but she is so unabashedly herself. I mean, her outfits, her costumes, so off the wall and so against what most would assume would be the structure of traditional rap and hip hop. And I thought, wow, that's perfect for the throat chakra. So I'm obviously not going to be rapping these lyrics. You're welcome. We don't need that negativity. But I'll at least go over them. So I'm new to this game. I ain't been here long. So forgive me if I get this wrong. I get lost sometimes. Italy, I roam. I had to figure certain things out on my own. Make a phone call home to the ones I love. Shit crazy out here. Have you high on drugs? To be real, man, I thought about pulling the plug so I can go fly high with the ones above. Don't worry, it gets better. There's more. I don't want to be judged. I just want to be me. Even though we buy chains, we just want to be free. I don't want to be judged. I just want to be me. We just want to be free. You got to be the one that people looking up to. I tried to reach the sun, but gum was stuck to my shoes. You got to be the one that people looking up to. I tried to reach the sun, but gum was stuck to my shoes. I'm only human. I'm not perfect, just a person. I'm only human, sometimes happy, sometimes nervous. I'm only human. I'm not perfect, just a person. I'm only human, sometimes happy, sometimes nervous.
I'm going to put Gary on the spot really quickly. So last week, we did a special prayer for Gabe. And so Gabe, as many of you know, is an anchor, dare I say a pillar of Unity of Gainesville, because he grew up here. And Gabe is in India and had some health challenges. And so we did a special prayer last week. And so I'm asking if Gary can give us a quick update in terms of where he is.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, for your prayers and consideration. Gabriel has been in ICU for the last week. Fortunately, as of yesterday, he was moved to a separate room, and he's no longer in ICU, so he's improved somewhat. I had a teleconference at 3 o'clock yesterday morning, Zoom call, with 3 of his doctors. They took the time, just about an hour, to spend with me explaining his situation. He has a tumor on his pituitary gland, and I'm sure it's okay with him that I discuss this. It is potentially life-threatening. If it's not operated on in the near future, it could cause him to have a stroke. It affects his pituitary system or his endocrine system. That's part of the reason he was hospitalized, because the sodium levels got so low, probably because he was drinking a lot of water, not getting salts. But anyway, it's hot over there, like it is here. But anyway, he's stabilized and now improving. So at some point in the real near future, he's got to have surgery. He needs someone over there to look after him. He's got friends who've been angels and have been there for him, but he needs his daddy. So I put a GoFundMe page together, and I'm trying to get enough money together to fly over there, be with him, pay for his surgery and his care. So anyway, thank you.
All right. Can we get, Rolly, can you get Pinter Rose? Can you ask her to come in real quick? So if we can stand. And Gary, we're going to get you right in the middle again. We're going to do a special prayer. We're going to wait for Pinter Rose. Pinter, if I can get you in the middle of the room as well. So, do we have anybody else in our community who needs to stand in proxy for someone else? So as many of us know, Pinter Rose's mom is currently transitioning. And so her mom is shuffling off, as Shakespeare says, this mortal coil. And so Pinter is standing here in proxy for her and her family. Is there anybody else? Okay, we see you. Please. Let's get you in the circle. Yes. All right, let's get you in the circle, please. All right.
A friend and fellow devotee, Ambarish Ford, from the esteemed billionaire family, Ford. He just had a stroke.
Anybody else?
And Chris Harris.
Chris Harris, can I get you in the circle? All right. Okay, anybody else? Okay. All right. So what I'd like us to do is, there is a way that we pray, right? In our before Unity life, we would pray and contract. We would contract down into a yearning that this thing works out, right? That's how we've been conditioned to pray, to bring that all the way down into almost like a beg, if you will. But what I am asking us to do in this space is to exercise a different kind of prayer, which is one that lifts you into a lightness, a breath that is easy. Because when we are in that lightness, we are affirming through our very breath that everything is already perfect. That there is not a destination, there's not a finish line, there's not a yearning for something to come into existence. It is simply there and done. And whether or not we have the capacity to make sense of it, perfection is already there. And so there's a lightness that I'm going to ask all of us to tap into. So if I can ask all of us on the outside of this circle just to take a cleansing breath. And what we are doing on this outside, we are affirming that it is already well. And so all of us on the outside, we're holding the high watch, the highest vibration we have access to, which is gratitude. And those of us in the middle of the circle, I want you to open your heart, see that loved one as they are, but better. I want you to see them giggling. I want you to see them healed and whole. I want you to see them better than makes sense. And I want you to hold that vision. And just like everybody on the outside, I want you to soften your belly, soften your chest, soften your shoulders, soften the muscles on your face, and know that it is all good. In this divine moment, we affirm that everything is divine. This moment, this moment, this moment, that moment, this moment, this moment, this moment, and every moment thereafter is divine. And that these loved ones, wherever they are on this planet, may they feel energized, not because of us, but because of our intention to see them whole just as they are. We affirm that all is well now, and that they are comforted, that defying all logic, right where they sit, right where they lay, right where they wait, they are wrapped up and enveloped and reminded of the perfection that they are. Now. Can we say now? We see all those who are in this circle standing as proxies, all those named and unnamed, we see them on their sacred walk. And we affirm that where they are is the perfect unfolding of their divinity now. Can we say now? Now, all of us on the outside of this circle, I want you to extend your hands to those in the center. And I want you to imagine that the love of your heart is extending through your hands to them who are here as proxies for those who are not here. May they feel this love. May they know they are protected. May they feel your love and know that you are standing here in their stead. And that all we call good, all that we call God, is already present and perfect. Because we are present and perfect, just as we are. We affirm it as so. And so it is. Ashe. Aho. So be it. It is done. It is done. So if we can do something a little extra, you may be seated. We are going to do a special offering for Gary and his family. Because for all my parents in the house, it ain't nothing like not being able to be there. I don't care if your kids say, I'm fine, Dad, or I'm okay. What we're going to do in this community, whatever you have to give, whatever it is, I want you to infuse love into that offering. And Gary, I want you to know that whatever this amount is, this is a seed. And it's multiplied beyond what we are physically seeing. Because if we affirm we are in an abundant universe, abundance comes in many forms. Many forms. Sometimes a flight doesn't cost money. We get a voucher. Sometimes we don't have to pay for a meal. Somebody takes us out to lunch. Sometimes we don't have to even come up with a rent payment because the paperwork got messed up. Don't worry, we'll take it over from next month. We know that if we are in an abundant universe, abundance shows up in many forms. So in this moment, we're going to take whatever offering we have to give and we're going to bless it. And we will hand it to Gary on your sacred walk, Gary's sacred walk, his brother's sacred walk, all of our sacred walk. Okay. Okay. Gary, can I get you to stand here? All right. Donna, Laurie. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to bless this offering because, y'all, this is going to defy logic. Okay. Whatever amount is here will be more than enough. And we will see it as so. Okay? So we're going to bless this offering. And y'all bless it with me. Yes, thank you. We're going to bless this offering. And we're going to bless Gary on his sacred journey, smooth flight, all that good stuff. We bless this seed, and we know it to be more than enough. We bless all the hearts and the spark that encourages its existence. And we affirm that Gary and Gabe will be reunited in giggles and love, and that all is well. And so it is. All right? We love you, Gary. We love you.
Well, since it's the voice and the throat today, I thought I'd just do some of my original songs. This is one I wrote for my son when he was born. And he's in his 40s now. This song has a long shelf life. It still gets done a lot. And in fact, I had a request for it last night, so from somebody from Unity. So my son also was, he gave me some information when I was doing that thank you chant. Thank you for this day. And I said, I had a couple different melodies for that part. I said, what do you think? And he said, well, if you do da 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 da, well then it's like the mamas and papas and people will already know it. Monday, Monday. He's so smart. Anyway, this is really a song about forgiveness and love too. Everybody's somebody's child. Everybody's had someone who gave them their first smile. Everybody's been rocked to sleep, had to be taught how to use their feet. Everybody's somebody's child. How can we hate others for their race when we all came from exactly the same starting place? We all had to be burped and fed. We all had soft spots on our heads. We all came from the same place. It's hard to believe we all start out so open wide. What happens to change us? Is it pain? Or is it merely pride? Everybody's somebody's child. Everybody's had days when they ran wild. So if someone's been telling you lies, you might feel better if you realize that everybody's somebody's child. It's hard to believe we all start out so open wide. What happens to change us? Is it pain? Or is it merely pride? Everybody's somebody's child. Everybody's had days when they ran wild. So if someone's been doing you wrong, it might help you to get along if you remember everybody's somebody's child. No matter how we play the game, we were given life just the same. Everybody's somebody's child. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kathy. Everybody's somebody's child. How perfect is that song? Because when we tapped into that space of offering for Gary, we understand. Whether or not we have kids ourselves, we understand what it feels like to be a kid. And I don't care what nobody say. You always need your mama, right? And whether or not she is in this form, and whether or not you had to have a mama as a proxy, because some of us, that biology defied our expectation. And so that is the frame for today, expectation. Can we say to expect? So earlier today in meditation, what came through was we're always in a state of expectation. Always. And so when we think about going to the grocery store, for example, we expect the store to be open. We expect them to have what we're looking for. We expect it to be a parking lot. And we expect to get a parking spot. There's a lot of expectations. We expect to get there safely. We expect for the traffic lights to work properly. We expect the car to turn on when we hit that gas. There's a lot of expectations that have to be met. And then when we get to the store, we look what we're looking for. Oh, that's not the pasta sauce I want. Let me get something else. And then we go to the checkout and we expect everything to go smoothly, right? If they're courteous, cool. If not, I won't go back. Whatever it is, but we have an expectation for something as minute as going to the grocery store. And that frame exists in many parts of our existence, right? We expect when we hit a light switch, the lights to turn on. We expect when we flush the toilet, when you do that motion, boom, action is happening. We have expectation that wraps every single function of our existence. Let's consider how much we expect and just take it for granted, right? It's so much. Even this morning, I gotta call out Gio real quick. First of all, I have a hat that Jackie Tatum gave me. So when I became a minister of Unity of Gainesville, she gave me a hat. It says, "Pastor warning, anything you tell me can be in a sermon." And so I have that hat in my office, okay? So just know, anything you tell me within, obviously, it's going up here. So Gio, on the way to pulling into this parking lot, she heard a car screech to a halt. And her and Rolando looked and said, "Oh my goodness. We were moments away from being rear-ended, headed into here." Was that an expectation? Absolutely not. Do we expect to be rear-ended on the way to Unity? Of course not. We expect to pull into the parking lot, say hello, get some good snacks, right? Today is a potluck. Oh, I forgot something. Maybe somebody won't notice. Whatever is going through our head, right? We have an expectation. Yet, our journey is perpetually met where our expectations don't meet the reality of what happens. And what came through in meditation is that is the nature of our being. That is the nature of existence. There is a duality in everything. Imagine if everything we expected came to pass. Our planet wouldn't look the way it does. It would be all kinds of chaos. If everything you expected happened and everything I expected happened, imagine the kind of world we live in. Nature is demonstrating in real time the power of dualities. We have a day and we have a night. We have a spring and we have a winter. We have light, we have dark. We have hot, we have cold. Nature demonstrates for us the power of duality. So on one hand, we have expectation that for the most part almost always comes to pass. We're gonna go to Publix, get a watermelon. We're gonna get that watermelon and drive home. There's an expectation. And then on the other side, that's where the tragedy begins. That's where the drama is. That's when we contract. Because what we were expecting did not come to pass. I did not expect that person to do that. I did not expect that job to work the way it did. I did not expect that person to turn out the way who they showed me themselves to be. Does that make sense, y'all? And so what happens is when the expectation of what we had in our heart begins to disintegrate, we contract. And now we create a narrative. And that narrative almost always has to do with it's not fair, something was done to me, how dare they? Am I making sense, y'all? And so we weave a really potent narrative to justify how we're feeling. And whether or not that expectation was meaningful, intentional, that does not matter. Most of the time, we don't even need to talk to that person before we develop a narrative for why that happened. So if we go somewhere and somebody doesn't speak back, we have a whole narrative in our mind. Oh, I knew she didn't like me. I knew it the first time I met her. And so we have a narrative that we hold on to. So every time we see that person, oh yeah, that's her. Now I'm gonna check out the beans back here, right? Or whatever it is. We find our way not to be around that person because sure enough, they are exactly who we thought they'd be. And then you find out they weren't even looking at you. I love it. I got to point out Sally. So Sally, we call them hearing angels. So there are times when you might talk to Sally and she might not hear you, right? And so often when Sally and I first got married, I would tell people, got to talk up, right? Because what I noticed was they thought Sally had an attitude problem. Now, if y'all know Sally, which many of you do, that's the most loving person I know. Right? Sally is my North Star. Okay, I'm going to get there one day. Right? And so I would notice people, they would contract because they had a belief about Sally. But she couldn't hear them. Now, how many people was I able to catch? Probably, let's say half. I was able to catch half of all the people who thought Sally had an attitude because she didn't respond to them. Now what happens to the other half? Now we go to a lot of functions, y'all. A lot of functions, you name it, museum nights, on and on. The kids are busier than I am. So if I'm able to catch half of all the people, the other half are holding a narrative which is not based in fact. Y'all got me? Now, there's an expectation there that when you speak, the person's going to speak back. If you're courteous, they're going to be courteous back. And when the expectation doesn't quite map out the way you held it to be so, we begin to unravel and we hold a narrative. Now, I mentioned last week that this is going to be part 3. Part 3. And what I mean by that is, a few weeks ago, the talk was anchored in the history of New Thought, the history of what we call unity. Its foundations are actually in Eastern traditions, in Hinduism. The foundation of seeing who we are beyond a single deity. That actually stretches thousands of years. That was part 1. Part 2 was honoring our heart chakra, acknowledging that it's from that space of compassion that we actually hold ourselves accountable. And we love ourselves. Our anchoring thought during the heart chakra was Buddha's words, which is, who more deserves compassion than you? Who more? And so today is part 3, which is perfect timing, because this is the beginning of what we're calling our throat chakra series. Real quick, when you hear the word throat, what comes to mind? Throat. What's that? Tonsils. What else? Power, speech, voice, singing. Yeah, singing. When we hear the contraction of a voice, what might that sound like sonically? When we hear a voice contracted, what does that sound like? Gravel, raspy, somebody's congested. When we hear that gravelly congestion, what's the first thing that we say? Are you sick? Everything okay? Some of us try to stay away so we don't get caught with that sickness, right? But we are aware that something's amiss. So if there's a gravelly, if there's a congestion, we intuitively know that something is amiss. Now let's put that into balance. On one hand, if somebody is talking freely, yet on the other hand, if somebody has a constricted throat or voice, we see it as an ailment, because we already know intuitively that our power is our ability to speak up. Now imagine if we had that ability to check on each other without having a throat be raspy or hearing congestion. Imagine if we could look at each other and sense you're not speaking. You're performing. How do you really feel? Imagine if we had that ability. We do. Stephanie, at the top of service, I love it. She said, imagine what our world would look like if we all just spoke our truth. Imagine if I could catch those 50% of the other people and say, this is the truth. Imagine what that would do. Okay, y'all. I've been spending a lot of time talking about nature. And I've been spending a lot of time talking about the power of the many infinite opportunities that nature can give us in terms of life lessons. I want to toss out what might sound like woo-woo, which is quantum reality. Quantum reality. Quantum physics is simply this. There is an effect that only happens when it is observed. Okay? So science has determined, quantum physicists have determined that an effect only happens when it is observed. Now, I've heard about quantum reality, quantum physics for a long time, and I haven't talked about it because I had to do some more learning for myself. I knew that it had a deep connection to what we do here in Unity as metaphysicians that we are. And finally, I heard it from what she calls herself a modern day shaman. Her name is Erica Lyons, I believe. And she described it like this. She said, it's like a radio station. You tune to the radio, and boom, that was a clarity I needed. Y'all, let's think about a radio station. So if I'm playing 101.3, and Saratna is playing 81.9, and let's say Steph is playing 73.0, all those stations are operating simultaneously. Okay? Steph can bring her speakers in. Saratha can bring her stereo in. I can bring my Bluetooth speaker in. And we can play those radio stations at the same time. However, if Stephanie is in her car, if Saratha stays at Unity, and I drive up the street, those radio stations are still playing at the same time. Does that make sense, y'all? So what that means is those realities are able to exist simultaneously at the same time. Hence, somebody can see Sally and say, oh, she don't like me. And somebody else can see Sally and say, she's the most loving person I know. Those realities can exist at the same time and operate at the same frequency. Y'all got me? Now, if that is true, in other words, if those realities can exist at the same time, the same thing is true for us. Can we say for us? For me. What that means is we have the ability to change the radio station, right? So earlier we did a special prayer for Gabe and everybody in the circle. And I asked all of us on the outside of the circle to see not where they are, but to see them as perfectly whole. What that means is I'm asking all of us to change our radio station to a reality that exists now. And so if 100 of us in the room are able to see Gabe as perfect now, what's going to happen? Am I making sense, y'all? Quantum reality is nothing but a fancy word for us deciding the kind of experience we want to have. And so if we do affirmative prayer, and if I say every moment is perfect, we are love, if I'm right, all the things that I'm saying, if I'm saying that, and if I'm holding it to be true, and if enough of us in this room are affirming that to be true, that I am divine, I am all that is, we are collectively shifting the radio station, not just for Unity of Gainesville, but the entire planet. This is a vibratory act. Every single time we choose a new reality. She didn't speak back. There's a new reality. Maybe she didn't hear me. Maybe she's having a difficult day. Maybe something troubling is going on. I'm going to send her love. If we choose a new reality, what we have done is if we've modified the vibration of not just us, but those in our immediate circle, our larger circle, our region, our state, our country, and the very planet itself. This isn't like a woo-woo thing. I love what we do here because we're actually talking about science and the potency of spirituality, that they are not separate. That is the very origin of unity. In the very beginning, before Charles and Myrtle Fillmore called it unity, they called themselves Christian Scientists. Scientists. And the reason why they called themselves Christians is because there was no other language to articulate what they were trying to do. I love who we are and where we are because all of us are in agreement that we are in a perpetual state of evolution. What may have been a potent message back in the day ain't gonna fly right now. What might have been just what you needed last year will not work. That song that meant everything to you when you were moving through heartbreak, when you were a teenager, you giggle at it now. That happened to me the other day. I was listening to a song, and that song, it got me through, y'all. And I hear it, and I'm saying, oh my God, this is so sappy. And my sister, she teases me like, you remember that song? I said, yes, I remember that song. It was Gavin DeGraw, and listen, my man was, he might as well have been weeping in that song, okay? Brother was sad, and guess what, y'all? It was just what I needed. And here I am, fast forward 25 years later, I can hear that song and I can giggle at it. Because at that time, my world was rocked. You couldn't tell me I didn't know what heartbreak was. I was all up in it. Y'all got me? My point is, all of us have these moments in our journey, and if we are sufficiently healed, if we choose that radio station, we can look at it and say, yeah, that was real. But there is another radio station where we keep that song playing. We keep it playing. And we could have that radio station rocking for so long that when you are introduced to your soul match, or whatever you want to call it, we're not ready for them. We've blocked them. We've sufficiently kept them away because we're at the radio station that plays that same narrative of how we were wronged. Y'all, I'm throwing out some heavy stuff. And my attempt is to always take what appears to be woo and say, no, actually, y'all, this is us. The next time y'all hear somebody talk about quantum field, quantum reality, consciousness, that's us. That is our ability to choose. What does that mean for us in our experience? That means when we're faced with an opportunity, and I didn't say obstacle, I said opportunity. It means when we are faced with an opportunity, we see it as so. And we affirm that we have the capacity, not when we take a nap and feel better, or not when we get our favorite cup of coffee, or not when we get our Pinot Grigio and can take a second to relax. Not when something happens, but in that very moment, we can choose to feel better. We can change that radio station, literally. Now, here's the thing, y'all. We have to choose it. The loved ones around us, they can't prod you into it. You can't be shamed into it. You can't be told enough is enough. My goodness. We have to, in our own time, come to the realization that we have the power to decide how we will experience this journey. Not at some future date. Again, I repeat, not when we get our favorite espresso, or when we get our Pinot Grigio and we're sitting by the pond, or not when we go to the beach because that helps me clear my thoughts. Not when some future act, but now. This is why I said part 3 is going to have us with some raised eyebrows. Because what that means is we can't go to a God to say, fix this. This person's pissing me off. Go do something about it. We can't go outside of ourselves and yearn for something to work out. That's not how this works. We can't yearn for a reality. What we can do is change our radio station, change our frequency, change our vibration. We can sufficiently change it. And in that very act, Wayne Dyer says, when we look at something differently, it looks different. In other words, when we shift how we're looking at something, it's different. It is different. So I am asking all of us. We did a special prayer for Gabe twice. I'm asking all of us to see Gabe perfect, just as he is now. I want y'all to see Gabe's hair flowing, Gabe giggling, Gabe like, yeah, that was crazy. My dad flew all the way out there to get me. I want us to see Gabe perfect just as he is now. And for all of us who came in the center of the prayer circle and have that loved one that was top of mind, I want you to see them perfect, just as they are. And all of us, we're going to hold that vibration too. Because we have an opportunity to choose the kind of experience we want, not later, but now. Can we say now? I want to say that the time it takes you to say now is longer than it takes to change it. The now. Even if you try to say it fast, now. Even no matter, like, literally the time it takes for the word to come out of your mouth, the shift happens faster than that. We have to choose it. We don't have to sink deep into a meditative state. Meditation is beautiful. I continue it. I want you to do the same thing. But I'm saying we don't got to go all the way down into some groveling state to modify our choice. Can we say now? Try to say it as fast as you can. Faster than that. Even faster than that. Literally, before you say, I'm going to say now, and then it goes in your mouth and your throat does a thing, before all those steps, clearly I'm not a scientist, or I don't know enough about human anatomy to tell you how much has to happen before the sound comes out of your mouth. But faster than that. Am I clear? I am asking every last one of us to choose different. Moment to moment to moment to moment. We don't have to choose the things we've been choosing. And all we got to do is do a quick inventory of the things that are stressing us out. We can choose different. The person that's getting on our nerves, we can choose different. How fast? Even faster. Even faster. All right, I invite you to take a cleansing breath. In this sacred moment, we are choosing now. We are choosing not at some later date, not at some future moment, not when this thing works out, not when our expectations are fulfilled, but now. I invite you for these next few moments to breathe in the reality that everything you desire is done. When? Now. Just like with the flick of a wrist, we can change the radio station. We can change the song we're listening to. With that ease, we can choose different. We choose a journey of love, of pure consciousness, of joy, of flirtation, of looking and feeling good, of being surrounded by those who bring us joy. Not at some future date, but now. We're Whenever you're ready, I invite you to open your outer eye, and I'm going to give you some homework. I'm going to give you some homework. For these next 7 weeks, we're honoring our throat chakra, which is us speaking our truth. But it's not a truth that exists up in here. We thought about it, we were wronged. It's not up there. It's a truth that we tapped into earlier when we breathed all the way down to the expansion of our belly. It's when we breathe down there, and from that space, our truest truth comes forward. And I invite all of us for these next 7 weeks to speak from that place. We take a breath. And from that place we speak. And that will always be love. Always. And so it is. I invite us to take this energy into whatever it is we have to give. And I'm reminding all of us that you are loved and appreciated for all the donations. You are the reason we keep our lights on. Every gift you give matters. And so we want to do a special offering for Unity. So we did it before for Gary. So whatever you have to give, we invite you to gather that, and we're going to bless it. So if you could place it over your heart and say, we bless this seed. May it nourish the fertile soil of our home called Unity of Gainesville. We expect and bless its full return in grace and perfect ways. And so it is.
Tis a gift to be simple, tis a gift to be free, tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. When we find ourselves in the place just right, it will be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right. Come round right. Any kids out there?
The kids are on the way, so we're going to love them when they get here. Y'all don't forget we got a pot love today. We invite everyone to stay. We want to do something special when the kids get here. Let's see. See Donna, any other, Barbara, don't go too far, Barbara. Let's see. All right. Yeah, she's opening the door. All right.
Oh, she's
and then
opening the doors, okay.
can we get Pinta Rose in? I'm sure she'll come with the kids. We're going to do a little something special. Now is better than any time, huh? Can I get our board to come forward? So Pinta Rose, Barbara, Donna, Celeste. Celeste, we just lost Celeste. Can you get Celeste? And the kiddos are coming in. Y'all hang tight. We got something special. We're going to honor the kids first. Kiddos, they are not going to wait.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Miss Gwen, what's happening?
Well, today we talked more about, we had a story called All I See is Part of Me. And everything this little girl saw, she found out was part of her. And she said, well, what happens when I close my eyes at night and I can't see? The stars are watching for her because she's part of the stars. And to show you what else we did, we'll have to wait. When everybody forms a circle, then I'll show you the rest of our lesson.
Oh, Miss Gwen, we love surprises. Okay, speaking of surprises, as many of you know, it takes a lot to run any nonprofit, let alone a spiritual community. And so who you're looking at are our board members, and then the kiddos who are keeping us also thriving. So I want to hand the mic to our board president because we wanted to do a special acknowledgement for our board members.
I'm Lori Mills. I'm the board president this year. I just wanted to acknowledge our board. We're all here today. We have many paths and lives outside of the church that don't always keep us here. And I just wanted to give each board member a pin just to acknowledge their contribution to our church and to Unity. And just thank you so much for...
So Laurie did some deep digging, and she found a special Unity pin, all right? And if y'all like these pins, you got to be a board member, okay? So y'all, thank you so much. Every time we have a board meeting and we are rocking for 2 hours and more, I know that the time and love and effort that goes into us doing what we do is only possible because of y'all's leadership. And y'all, I want you to know that these are your representatives, these are your voices, because trust me, everything you say is coming to the top and we are working it out. And so we just want to just take this moment, Laurie and I, to acknowledge all the work that y'all have put in, all of our former board members, our future board members, and we just want to love on y'all and say thank you so, so much for everything y'all doing for us. All right, let's circle up.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Yes, Miss Gwen, the floor is yours.
everybody's hand needs to touch another person's hand for this to work, to show you God's energy. Okay? You hold her hand, hold his hand. Okay, here we go. Technical difficulty.
Yeah.
Got to be touching and holding your hand.
I've seen her do that before.
Whoa. Wow. Oh my goodness. One person. All right. Thank you, Miss Gwen. Whoa. Okay. Wow. On that note, what is our prayer for protection? The light of God surrounds us. Who are we? We are light. The love of God enfolds us. And who are we? We are love. The power of God protects us. We are power. The presence of God watches over us. We are presence. Wherever we are, God is. We are divine, and all is well. Okay, y'all, one more thing. If we could look at the camera in the back, and we're just going to wave at our loved ones who are unable to be here. We love you, we see you, and we can't wait to wrap our arms around you. All right, y'all, let's eat.